down. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Yeah, and in the bucket one, she urges you to let Stanley die and not quit out the game. But here, she urges you to do actually quit out the game and don't die. Because, you know, that's your only true choice. Because essentially, the game is about choice, but you can't technically choose anything. I mean, you can choose in which order you complete the game, but you can't truly choose anything. Because everything, like she said, is already planned out in advance, so you know I can't technically choose. I can choose in which order I play the game that they laid out for me, but I can't truly like explore everything.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I don't know, it seems just as bright to me. But yeah, where's that other computer? I don't know where it is. I forgot where the other ones are.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Actually, is it me or is it actually slightly darker than before?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief.
Hey.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Also, why now did I go without the bucket?
Coming
Maybe I
to a
should have brought the
staircase,
bucket.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, haven't done the escape. Or should I? No, I have done both the good and bad ending. I've just not done that other one. Oh no, we're gonna go back up. That's what we're gonna do.
I think we all know the drill by now. Blah blah blah. Top secrets. The keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I want to go back up without the bucket. See what happens then. Yeah, let's see what happens when we go back up again. Because...
Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out either.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator.
Oh.
It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. Decisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Good. Yeah, you gotta get that achievement when you do it for the first time, and not when you go back up. It's super dark in here, but there's nothing there. Okay.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Hey, let's go back up again.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, I love how passive-aggressive he is, like, losing his mind a bit. It's like, motherfucker. Well, I do wonder what it is. Is it the boss's office? Yeah, it is.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Oh. He's losing his mind so hard, it's amazing.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
Master Stanley. Alright. Well, let's see what happens when we go back down and then go back up again.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious. You have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
I only went on the elevator like a couple times and he's already losing his mind so ridiculously hard. It's insane. Oh, he's not even saying anything about it now? Oh, there we go.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment.
Hey!
Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. The suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill.
Ooh.
Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years.
Why now this is such so creepy over here?
You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you, which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you.
Really?
So that you can
For
talk
me?
about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
All eyes on Stanley, live on stage. The world's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. How we did it, the pyramids. The guy who went to Mars. Ah, okay. So maybe if you do this with the bucket, then we may also get a different ending. World Peace Baby. An evening with World Peace Baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Yeah, why do all the doors sound like Minecraft doors when they open like that? The Stanley Parables Stanley. Tonight live on stage. The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. The storyteller. Stanley reveals all in his new book. World's first sentient machine. Q&A with. Doing great. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you.
To stage.
Go get 'em.
Welcome, Stanley. Stanley Rider, almonds, chair, gum, table, nut bar. 427. Stanley. What? Stanley me. Age 6 story. Thanks for showing me that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You're too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Break a leg, champ. Your boss. Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your co-workers. They give us one of the fucking paintings from The Office. Oh, that's Stanley's suitcase. That's his suitcase from the trailer. Wish you were here. Aloha from the Freedom Ending. I went to the mind control facility and all I got was the lousy sticker. Narrator Airlines. Official. Adventure awaits with the adventure line. 427. Yeah, this is the suitcase in the trailer of the Ultra Deluxe, the very first trailer, I think, where the narrator is like, yeah, let's make a new game and let's make it bigger and better and shit. And then he calls for Stanley, hey Stanley, come here. And then Stanley grabs and then Stanley is on his computer looking for like a trip to somewhere because he wants to escape the narrator. And then you hear the narrator in the background, Stanley, and then Stanley's like, oh shit, and then he grabs his suitcase and then he runs for the door, and then the narrator closes the door on him like, there you are, Stanley. You break a leg, champ, your boss twice. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. Your wife from The Apartment Ending. I love the way you write elevators. Heart XX. No one tells stories the way you do. Go get him, Tiger. Up again, down again. The Stanley story. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. Hey, is that the guy from that laughs all the time? Or is that a different guy? No, okay. He looks like that Spanish guy that laughs a lot from that meme, but he's a little bit different. The Lord's meet and greet. What the hell? I can't really read what's up there. What's above it? Featured. I can't read that. Yeah, the Lord's meet and greet. Hello. Down, then up, then down, then up, then down, then up. Presented by Stanley. That's an actual ending. Okay, cool. Okay, so we need to do that with the bucket as well. Okay, well first I'll just do the escape pod ending.
All of his co-workers.
Oh, there's the second one. There we go. Input received. Okay, I'm guessing the third one is in the boss's office then.
Single person here either. Feeling away, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No, let me in the broom closet. He's like, I'm so fucking done with that fucking broom closet.
Staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, hey, thanks.
Here's the door.
Yeah, just go. Yeah, but I'm actually going to the escape pod ending. Alright, and then we're doing the up again, down again ending with the bucket. Because apparently there is something there. I can pick up the bucket, but then we'll just get the normal. Well, not the normal, but then we'll get the escape pod ending that I've already achieved. You are now leaving. Oh yeah, wrong side, sorry. Yeah, this also is pretty, just this complete silence that, you know, the narrator isn't here. He's not really, like, you're not really supposed to see this, like, and zero context on what this means or anything, you know, like in my mind, this is just like every single of these floors is a different Stanley, and every time you restart the game, essentially, it's a different Stanley that wakes up from that office and then gets to walk, and then the narrator is just like waking up every single individual Stanley one after the other, you know? And that's why there's so many rooms and why everything is just identical. It's just an infinite number of Stanleys waiting in that office for the narrator to wake them up so that they can walk around and do their thing. And it's just the narrator's way of playing with you. That's what that's my headcanon about this ending. And this is an escape pod because you just, you know, you just escape. Okay, so now let's do the up again, down again ending with the buckets.
Stairs to the boss's office.
Alright, let's see whether the computer of the door is this one. Yeah, there we go. And there's one more I need to find somewhere.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not
There's the
for the
achievements.
presence of the bucket. He would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Okay, so yeah, I also need to do the good ending and the bad ending with the bucket. And then I've done everything on the left door. Because I've done all endings normally on the left door, and I've then done all the, excuse me, bucket endings on the left door also. So now we're getting close to having found all the endings.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again. The bucket said nothing.
Yeah, also I heard a rumor somewhere that there was a guy standing when you do this multiple times with the bucket. There's a truck somewhere with the elevator, and there's a guy standing next to it after you go down it, up and down a few
I'm going to try
times.
out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely well, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Okay. So yeah, and then I continue with the story normally, but apparently there is a different ending once you go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Perhaps
So
the
let's do
bucket
it.
had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
I'm guessing it'll learn soon enough.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Alright. Let's see.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all. Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
But what if we go up for a third time? Maybe then you understand, because that's the third time.
They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Going up for the third time, maybe?
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate.
Yeah, you see there, look at that.
Meant to him.
There's a guy standing there all of a
So
sudden.
alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others.
That's weird.
It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work.
But yeah, there was a guy standing next to that truck over there.
At his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd ever been for anything in his life.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely a fucking Minecraft door sounds. It's a stage 3333333. 3333333.
One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a
Three
loved
again,
one.
3 again. Stanley story. Alright.
There was no one here. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over.
Oh.
He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure. And in that moment, Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There
No.
would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. there would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Yeah, how sad. A lot of the bucket endings are weird, are like very creepy or very sad.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Input received. Okay. Well, next time I have heaven ending.
It takes a lot of humor.
Whoa! Why the hell is this so brightly lit up and slightly blue? That's a bit weird. Alright. Let's not go back up.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Both.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this. It very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Hey, I thought it was your job to reassure me. 427. Yeah, again, it would be ridiculously creepy if I could see somebody sitting at my desk, or I see myself sitting at my desk over there.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Hang on, isn't there also a way to get back over here? I thought there was, because you can like turn on a disco. You can turn on disco mode at some point, but maybe it only opens at specific times or something.
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Not even the narrator.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls
together.
Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Alright. Bucket.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
What the fuck?
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it
What the fuck?
envisioned. but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
What?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No!
He himself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
No!
Go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay. And here's the final one. And now... Welcome, Stanley, to heaven! Yes! Yes! Look at all these beautifully colored buttons! Oi, oi. Alright, well, we can't leave or anything, so we just have to start over.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this
To turn the machine on.
The bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Silly birds?
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
What the hell?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
What the fuck?
Mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was
happy. Now, to be honest, it's actually pretty clever, because usually when you turn the machine in the normal way, you turn the machine... Alright, let's just do the speedrun version first. Normally when you turn the... when you turn the machine off, then you get the good ending and Stanley is happy. But with the bucket, it's the other way around.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
It's actually pretty funny.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep, thank you.
Here's the door, just go.
You're helping me with the speedrun strats. But yeah, like a lot of things with the buckets endings are pretty crazy. A lot of things are inverted. Like what usually is the good ending is the bad ending with the bucket.
Mind control facility.
Not only with that example, where turning the machine off is actually the bad thing to do here.
Rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought
There
to
we go.
himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jump to life.
But yeah, not only with that final bit where you turn off the machine is bad with the bucket, but good without the bucket, but also with the up and down area, the bucket there, when you do it with the bucket, it's a very bad ending, but when you do it without the bucket, it's actually a pretty decent ending, even though the narrator's kind of like mad at you.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be
So yeah,
true.
a lot of things are creepy, a lot of things are inverted. It's actually pretty funny.
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that...
There.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley
There we go.
felt the breeze upon his skin.
Speedrun.
The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, you see, like when you turn off the machine without the bucket, that's the good ending. But when you turn on the machine with the bucket, that is the good ending there with the bucket. It's actually pretty interesting. Alright, so that'll be it for this episode. So I've done all the endings on the left door. I have done the insanity ending, the good ending, the bad ending, the museum ending, and the up and down ending. Both with and without the bucket, all of them. So now it's just mostly to take the right door. I need to do a couple more endings there. I need to do the... what's it called? I need to drop into the vent without the buckets. I need to pick up the phone without the buckets. I need to take the blue door. And I think that's roughly about it. And then we'll see what happens, because I believe that you eventually get back to the expo center. Oh yeah, and I need to close the door right at the beginning, but I'll do that in the next episode. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Click the like button if you did. Subscribe to join the Roman army, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, Romans. Valete.